Hello. For our next project, many students have told me they wanted to draw apples. So we are going to draw apples together, and this is what our final project is going to look like. Of course, all of our projects are going to look a little differently because you draw whatever type of bowl you like, and you can put your apples wherever you would like in your projects. So let's talk really quickly about the shape of an apple. So overall, the shape of an apple is pretty circular, right? So if I was going to draw an apple, I might start with a circle shape. But a lot of the times at the top, you'll see a curvy line, okay? So we have a curvy line, and then it kind of curves on the side and comes down and is a little skinnier at the bottom. Some apples curve up here, and sometimes they have like a little bump, right? And of course, always a stem. So there's different ways you can draw apples. This is just one of them. We could have a little curve and then more of a circle apple, too. Right? That's another type of apple we can draw. I love apples. I think my favorite color apple to eat is the green apples. What's your favorite color apple? Maybe we can talk about that during our live meeting. So the first step of what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly draw with a pencil where my bowl is going to be for my apple still life. And in class, we are going to talk about the artist Paul Cézanne and also more about still lifes, which a lot of artists use to get better at drawing and painting. A still life is when an artist arranges items in their house close together and then tries to draw them from real life by looking at them. So I'm going to try my best to bring a bowl of apples into class so we can see what it looks like, look at the different colors of the apples and the way the apples are shaped. But sometimes you might see still life drawings of flowers and other types of things. So now that I have my bowl, I drew a straight line on the top and two curvy lines on the side. And now I kind of have the outline for my bowl. Now I can fill it with those delicious apples. So I'm going to start by making a curvy line, and then those round sides of the apple. This apple is kind of tilted, right? To draw here's my stem, and sometimes you'll see it a little darker over there. Okay, so now I have one apple. Let's make another. I'm going to have this apple straight up and down. So I'm going to draw my little U and then add curvy sides like I was drawing a circle. So I didn't follow through with this line because these apples are overlapping, which means this apple looks like it's in front of this apple in the bowl. So you might want to have overlapping apples too. Let's see, here's another apple. I'm going to draw a curvy line, then my sides. And let's make one more apple. Let's make this apple on its side, because this bowl is just full of apples. Right, so the rest of that apple is inside the bowl. I'm going to make this really full, and I'm going to put some apples on top as well. And maybe one more over here inside my bowl, drawing a little dark line, and this is where my stem comes out. So fun. I think I might want an apple or two on the ground over here in front of my bowl. so I can see the whole apple shape. Little U and 2 curved lines down and bump. Maybe I have an apple on its side here too. So now I have tons of apples in a bowl. I'm going to add a line back here to show that my bowl is sitting on a table. So this is what a still life drawing would look like. Our next step of what we want to do is outline in black our contour apple sketch drawing. So I'm tracing over all those lines. Don't forget to add your stems. We're drawing apples because a lot of the time when the fall comes around, people love to go apple picking. And we have a lot of great apple farms on Long Island to go to. Okay, so this is as far as we are going to get for our first class. For our next class, we are going to be talking about value, and that's adding dark areas and light areas of your apples so we can start to make them look round and three-dimensional. We do this by pressing harder and lighter with our crayons or our color pencils. We can also layer our crayons or color pencils so that our dark areas look darker and our light areas look lighter. If you are doing day 1 of this project at home, at this point you want to make sure you put your name on it. And you're going to want to store this in your take-home folder and leave it in there until we have art next week. Okay, I want you to be able to continue with day 2 of this project in class. So that means you need to make sure that this is somewhere safe so that if you are a hybrid student and you are in school, we can continue this for day 2. Make sure you do that now. I'm going to continue this video and show you the next steps of what would be day 2 of our project, but I don't want you to go ahead and do this now. Okay? So for day 2 of this project, we are going to be filling in with value, and that's adding dark and light areas of color to our apples so we can make them look round. I want to use realistic colors for my apples, and I know apples can be red, apples can be yellow, and apples can be green. So you're going to want those colors. If you want all of your apples to be one color, you can do that too, but we're still going to add value to it. So I'm also going to want a black and a white crayon. Now mine are broken, so if yours are broken, you could still use them, that's okay. So to make my apples look round, I need to think about which side my sun would be. Where my sun hits would be the light sides of my apples, right? And then on the other side, we would have a shadow. So if you've ever walked outside, you might notice that things have shadows and things have light hitting them. So a lot of the times we want to see that in our artwork too. So I'm going to pretend that my sun is over here for this project. You don't have to draw this. I am just showing where my light is coming. So that means all the left side of my apples are going to be a little bit darker. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to show you this apple first. If my sun's hitting this apple, the far side of my apple is going to be dark and this side's going to be light. So I'm going to try to show that while I'm coloring. And I'm going to do that by pressing hard so I get a dark red on this side. I'm pressing my hand pretty hard on my apple. And now I'm going to press a medium amount. Okay, now I'm going to press really light with my crayon. So I have a light side, a dark side, and a medium side of my apple. I can also take my white crayon and try to make my light side even lighter. And it kind of blends it all together too and makes it look nice. I can also take a black crayon and lightly go over this side to make my dark side look darker. Right? So we want to add value to all of these apples. Let's try another one. I'm going to make my next apple green. So again, on the far side from my sun, I'm going to make this my dark side. The middle, I'm going to press medium, and I'm going to press really light, barely touching my crayon to the paper. I can take a white crayon again and make this lighter. And I can take a little bit of black and make this side a little darker. Let's try a yellow apple. Going to press really hard with my yellow on the far side, pressing medium in the middle, and really light over here. We can take some black, lightly put it on this side of my apple. White over here. Good. Let's try another red apple. Hard, pressing hard, pressing medium, pressing light. I'm going to try to peel my white crayon. Use this one. Lighten up that side. Darken up my far side. So we are adding value and making our apples look realistic. So I hope you're having fun with this. It takes some time to get used to. Do the best you can. This is our first time, and everyone's is going to look a little different. The trick is to just make sure you're pressing hard on one side of all of your apples and pressing light on the other side of all of your apples. And you can be using layering with your white. Oh, my white got a little dirty. It smudged a little bit. That's okay. I'm adding some dark. Okay. So you want to do this to all of your apples. All right. You can color the bowl how you would like, and we'll talk about that more. And we'll talk about adding shadows to our table at another time. We're also going to add a pattern in the background, but this is going to take us a few classes. So our first day was just drawing and outlining. Our second day should be to add value to all of our apples. And if we have time, we'll talk about how we can color our bowls, which everyone could have a different bowl, our table, and a pattern background. I'm so excited to see what you have done. Make sure you are bringing your work to where it needs to be. So you have it in school when you have art, and when you have it at home when you have art. If you are a remote student, please try to submit your work on Teams so I can have a beautiful picture of it.